That work? All right, lesson learned. Don't mix with the recording device when it's in the middle of recording. So, I don't know if the other episode is still going or not, but here we are now. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. All right, I just wanted to give you guys a little better view of what we're doing here. So you can see some of that POR 15. I just kind of ran out before I could do the bottom. So sorry about guys. I don't know why I couldn't get the stream to reload once it stopped. I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. All right. So what I've done while I was trying to get the stream back up and running again is I just put the 8 bolts in the bed, so it is now firmly mounted to the truck. And so I guess the next thing to do is get the maybe let's do something good. I mean, I put like the filler neck on, but that's going to be hard to show you guys. So maybe now that I got all the bolts in the bed, let's get this roll pan in place. Figure all these lights out. I get that light module to do too. Let's tackle that module. Now, one thing I noticed from the original bed for this truck to this bed is there was a little place to mount this. This is the light module, the tail light module. This does both the tail lights, the plate lights, and has a plug here that goes to the trailer hitch wiring here. Like I was saying, this had a mount on the bed. It would go somewhere up in this area here, and this bed doesn't seem to have it. So not really worried. That's what zip ties are for. Apologize for that light in the back over there. You guys a little bit to get rid of that and minimize that. Like I was saying, this is just an all-in-one computer I'm using here, and I'm surprised it even works for this. Black. Can't see. Gray, blue, and brown. Gray, blue, brown, color coded. And that there is for the trailer hitch wiring, which I'm not going to be using for a little bit, but I will be getting a trailer hitch that'll work with the roll pan I'm putting on. So, probably just zip tie that right to that. What do you guys think that'll work? I think that'll work. But I remember a life before zip ties. I remember when zip ties came out, they were such an amazing thing. Remember a friend of the family's used to have a private lobster fishing license up here in New England. We're famous for our lobsters. And he was always afraid. He swore people would poach his lobster traps, would go out in the river, out in the ocean, and pull his traps up and steal his lobsters. And this is when zip ties had just come out. So we would use zip ties, and he'd buy color-coded zip ties, and he'd zip tie the trap shut. So we know if we pulled the pod up the next couple of days, the next time we pulled them up, if the zip ties were cut, we knew someone was stealing from our lobster traps. But now that zip ties are everywhere and ubiquitous, that's not really something that's going to be a thing anymore. Does that make me old? Does that make me old that I remember when zip ties weren't a thing? I guess maybe. Damn kids nowadays. You got it easy. Just securing stuff with zip ties. When I was young, we had to learn how to tie a knot. All right, so I'm going to have to cut the wiring harness out of my old bumper. Because I need the plug, excuse me, I need the plug for the plate light. The roll pan I'm using came with a little LED plate light. Well, I'd love to know why when my stream dropped out, I wasn't able to get the YouTube live going again. Oh well. Just doing a little splice action here. I use some high heat butt connectors. crimped up. Now, this being an LED, it has to be wired positive and negative. It can't just go like a regular light bulb because that's what a diode is. This is a diode that emits light. But what a diode does in the electrical world is it allows current to only flow one way. That's typically what a diode does. And that's what an LED will do too. If you hook this up negative to positive and positive to negative, it just won't work. It'll just act like a stop for the current. So I'm gonna have to get that in and put the lights on and test which wire is positive, or I could just look up a wiring diagram, but I don't feel like doing that. We'll use the trusty multimeter when it gets that time. So I think now we should mount that roll pan, which really looking forward to. Now, one thing I do want to add about a roll pan, and some states don't allow them. You're not allowed to modify the bumper, and a roll pan eliminates the bumper. So I'm not sure about the legalities in the wonderful state of Massachusetts that I live in. I'm not sure if this is necessarily legal or not, but I guess I'll cross that bridge when I got to go get an inspection. I'm actually going to real quick wash my grubby hands. I don't want to get all of that onto my nice freshly painted panel. Roll pan. I do like the way these look on a pickup truck. So I should probably bring this down. I'm going to put you guys, I hope I don't lose the stream. I shouldn't. What happened was, like I said, this is like a computer. This power adapter, that little plug was not quite in enough. So as soon as I touched it, that's where the stream went. Nope. Did I lose it? Nope. Put it down on a wing nut. Now it's a little tight in here again. There we go. So my next question is, what am I going to use for hardware to hold that in place? They couldn't spring for the paint on the inside. Screws. A handy dandy trim screw assortment. I think I will use These are just black oxide screws. It's a whole nice kit of them. Company called Northern Fasteners has a guy that comes here once a month or so and looks through all of our bins and reorders them, and then it's up to me to put them all. I'm the one that puts them all away. So, I mean, the downside of that is I got to put them all away. The upside is I know where everything is. All right, so the idea is to put this on without scratching too much of the finish that's going to be revealed. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? I'm actually, the first time I'm looking at it is in the screen here. Oh, tight quarters in here. Well, the chat quieted down since the stream dropped. You guys are still there, right? It says there's a few of you, 14 of you watching. I appreciate it. Tight. Oh, well, that exhaust, that tailpipe makes it kind of tough to get these screws in on the side. Boy, this is not the easiest thing I've done today. You guys can't really tell if you shine that light in your face. Oh. Whew. Yeah, we got everything here. still love these plates. These are the plates that were on the Sonnet, and now they're on this Silverado. They got to be on something gaudy, something either orange or yellow. Trouble is, though, I think it's kind of unfair in Massachusetts with vanity plates. Normally, you pay registration. When you register your vehicle, it's registered for 2 years. Well, if you got vanity plates, you got to do it every year. It's the same price, but every year. It's kind of a pain. But, it's worth it, though. There's a term, there's a name for people that collect license plates. There was a guy that owned a hobby shop that I'd gone to my whole life. His name was Peter Pratt. Name is Peter Pratt in a little town called Georgetown. And I remember one day I had my Sonnet there. I was in talking to him, and he come out to look at the car. He thought the Sonnet was neat and all, but when he saw my Amesie plate, he was like drooling. And he said that, and he used the name for it, what it is for when you collect license plates. Philatelist? No, that's stamps. Lepidopterist? That's butterflies. I don't remember. One of those tristy things. All right, I gotta get those other ones tight. There's 2 screws right at the very corner here. Because of the shape of the curve, it makes it really hard to get any kind of tool and kind of get the angle driver here in. Yeah, close enough. Ow! Man, they just walk away. All right, that one does not want to play. So we get really drill the hole out of them now. Oh, that screw was way more work than it should have been for one dang screw. Dang you, screw. Well, if I knew this was going to fight me so much, I would have mounted it before I mounted the bed and then taken it off again. But at least I knew the screw holes would have been the right size. One side. I'm happy with that. All right, one more screw on the other side. This thing's mounted. I haven't actually driven my truck in a week. I've been sitting here at the shop without the bed on it. Been driving the shop truck, which is actually, interestingly enough, a 97 F350. Man, that thing drives like a truck. This thing drives like a car. What was that line in that song? Z71 like a Cadillac? That's what this thing's like. Well, not with all the Cadillac problems. this is a pain in the butt. It's the same two screws on the other side here. They're the ones, there's one here and one down here. And just, boy, these are a pain to get at. One more to go. Whew. Hey, does anybody know, did that other stream stop? I don't want to mess with this and look. Is that other stream still going, or did it stop? Anybody happens to be able to look over for me? Still kind of irritated that I couldn't get it to pick back up. Oh, thank God that one went easy. All right. Let me just make sure all these are tight. Whew. That was some work. And so these are the things you don't think are going to fight you that are the ones that are going to fight you. You get ready for a battle on one front, you come sneaking around from the other side to give you a hard time. Oh, did I mention this is kind of tight in here? I have a drawer open. It's actually under the... That's why I don't usually work on a pickup truck backwards in the lift. Now it's time to do the little light. I'm hoping I cut that harness long enough. Just a little bit too short. No biggie. I have just a little bit of wire. Actually, I got two little bits. Little bits. Another thing that's kind of makes it a little tough doing YouTube content, live shows, or pretty much anything on YouTube is you can't listen. I can't listen to any music. It can be kind of mind numbing sitting here for this many hours with just hearing yourself talk. I'll tell you one thing you do, and that's something I noticed at the end of editing videos and stuff. You get awful sick of the sound of your own voice. And why am I using butt connectors and not soldering and shrink wrapping? I'm tired. This is a long process. My legs are getting tired. I haven't stopped or sat down. That's the other thing with these live shows. I feel so obligated to keep it going. I don't want to stop to pee or stop to break. That's all right, though. It's all right. And the other reason I didn't solder and shrink wrap is because these butt connectors are really neat. These are those ones with the low temp solder already in them. So when you put some heat on them to shrink the shrink wrap, it kind of liquefies the piece you crimp. Or at least they're supposed to. I'm not sure if they really do, but every time I've done a wire repair with these, they've lasted. They've lasted. You see it's heat shrunk right on there, nice and tight, no moisture can get in. So makes it easier, less time consuming than breaking out my solder station, cleaning the tip, wetting the sponge, letting it heat up. This does all of that. Does all of that for me. You don't need tape, but I'm going to put a little on just to keep these wires corralled. Another thing I haven't done, I stayed hydrated enough today. Kind of feeling it. Oh, look at my holy shirt, huh? Still want to give a shout out to the person that designed these shirts. I do love them very, very much. As you can tell, I wear the crap out of it. But I don't remember. I can't find the email. I don't remember the person that made these shirts for me. I'd love to reorder them and get another round of them. So, gentlemen who made these shirts, if you ever watch this, send me a message. Let me know who you were. Love another $300 worth of Amesie's Corner apparel. The intention was to sell it, was to sell all these shirts and stickers and license plates, but I find I just give them away. Just give them to anybody that asked for one in person would get a sticker and a shirt. And of course every member of my family got one. You know, like, that's what I say to them. You call me Amesie, but it's on my last name. Every one of my brothers, you're an Amesie too. All right, so now I need to figure out which one of these two wires that you barely see here, these are coming out of the truck side. I need to figure out which one's positive and which one's negative. I don't feel like turning on the shop computer to look at the repair information for a wiring diagram. I sure as heck ain't going to mess with this computer while it's doing what it's doing. So I'm going to do it the electrician way. I'm going to use my multimeter. In case you didn't know, yes, you can use a multimeter to tell which is hot and which is ground on a circuit. Basically, the way it'll do it is it'll have a negative sign before the number. That means you've got these reversed. So well, the taillights are lit up. That's a good sign. That's a shelf I have up here. A little in the way, but not really. So I could just stick these two wires in one way and the other to figure out which one's which, but I'm going to do it this way. Now right there, you see we got 12 volts, but there's the little minus sign. That means the polarity is reversed. And so when you have it, the polarity correct, we'll just have voltage without that negative sign. So the wire that I have the red lead in, I know is the positive wire. And if I was right, should light up. And of course I'm right. on, get in the thing. There we go. A little heat, a couple more zip ties, and this is good to go. Still got to hook the filling neck up. Let's see what's left. Filling neck, bed liner, filling neck, bed liner. We put the tailgate on, then and clean up. Three. Just gonna get this filling neck on. Apologize, I can't bring you guys over there, but I don't want to lose the feed again. Not this close to the end. We're at the final stretch now, guys. We are definitely at the final stretch. right, so get this thing off the lift. I'm going to drag the bed liner I plan on using and go from there. Are all the lights working? All my brake lights, tail lights, blinkers working? Oh, man, that looks nice. I like that roll pan. I do like that nice clean look, huh? Tailgate. No, bed liner. Bed liner probably be easy to put in with the tailgate off. I've got that wet, dirty thing outside. I'm going to drag it in. Be right back. Whew. Yeah, it's almost like work. It's almost like work today. Little clearance issue. Need my largest clearance adjustment tool. Why I'm not going to put the new one on when I got a new hinge. Oh, I hope this just goes on. I'm running out of steam. All right. There it is. I do like how clean those roll pans make a pickup truck. Whew. How about I back this thing over here so we can get a good view of it? How about that? Oh boy, am I glad that project is in the books. Well, there it is. Pretty bed. My blazingly yellow pickup truck. So I do have the decals, the Z71 for the back. I think it needs something back there to break that up. My next plan for this truck is to take all this belt molding off of it, get all this stuff off. We can see the dent in my door. See that dent right there? Remember the last video last week where I told you I got ran over by that car and dragged 700 yards down the highway after she crashed into my truck? That's kind of the damage she did. Luckily, it's just that dent. I got a dent guy coming one of these days to pull it out. Unfortunately, she didn't have insurance, or else I would be putting a new door and probably painting the cab. I did have the cab corners and rockers done. I put some spray bomb, which doesn't really match, but you know, in sometime maybe in next spring or summer, I'll get the rest of the truck painted. And yeah. Well, all right, guys. I've got to clean up a little bit. I got to put everything away for work tomorrow. And thanks for watching. I love the comments. I love the chat. Sorry, the stream got broken up in the middle. Technical difficulties happen in this kind of thing. Well, all right, guys. On that note, and until next time, keep it out of the cabbage. We did definitely keep this one out of the cabbage.